This summer's sexual assault trial of 5 former Canadian World Junior hockey players, the national pastime's moment of reckoning, captivated the nation. The allegations were disturbing, and even after the players were acquitted, the conversation about the sport's troubled culture has intensified. TSN investigative reporter Rick Westhead not only broke the story, he wrote about it and so many other similar incidents in hockey in the new book called We Breed Lions. And Rick joins us this morning here on Morning Live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
What compelled you to write this book?
You know, I love hockey. I love playing hockey. I play 2 or 3 times a week. I've loved coaching hockey. My son came up through the Greater Toronto Hockey League, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. And I've just thought to myself, as I've read through so many tips about issues of abuse and maltreatment and a lack of accountability, I've asked myself, like, how do we get here? And what could we do to really confront this and find ways to hold organizations accountable, including Hockey Canada and other organizations in hockey and in sports more broadly, and find a way for a better path forward?
This book is raw. There's a lot of disturbing, shocking stories. Was it difficult to write?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are very uncomfortable stories, but they need to be told. You know, you look around, and there are a number of books, not just out right now, but historically, about how amazing hockey is and about how people's great experiences in the game, and those are all valid, right? Those stories should be told as well. But so should these stories. Yeah. These stories, which are uncomfortable, still need to be told, because if they're not, we'll wind up with this cycle continue. It wasn't that long ago in the 1990s that Sheldon Kennedy came out with his story of being sexually abused by his coach in junior hockey, Graham James. And at that time, the federal government, provincial governments, people within hockey and sports broadly, they committed themselves to change. They said, never again. Yeah. We have to fix this so this never happens again. But what happened? The news cycle moves on. It's an uncomfortable subject, and we really don't want to talk about kids being hurt through sports, and so we forget about it. And I can tell you there was a number of commitments that were made in the 1990s that were never followed through on. So I think this book will continue that conversation, and maybe in some modest way we'll hold our governments and hockey organizations more accountable to make sure they're doing everything they can to protect kids.
Good lead into that next question I had about the impact of this book. What do you think it's going to be in terms of Hockey Canada and the decision makers?
Yeah, you know, there has been progress. You know, for sure there's been progress, and you know, it's a testament to journalism, the fact that we now know, only through reporting on this story, we know that Hockey Canada for many years maintained a secret slush fund that was used to pay off sexual assault claims secretly. A slush fund that was built with minor hockey registrations from Canadian hockey parents across the country, right? They still have a ways to go. The way the landscape is right now, if a coach or somebody involved in a sanctioned hockey program finds himself banned or suspended, Hockey Canada still has made the decision to keep that secret. Other organizations, Athletics Canada, Gymnastics Canada, even provincial organizations like Volleyball Ontario, they believe that a parent's right to know trumps the privacy rights of somebody who's been suspended for bad behavior. And so those organizations make sanctions public. Hockey Canada is still not there yet. So there is more accountability still, I think, and I think there's still a role for journalists to play in asking questions about, you know, why they aren't doing this and what is best practices for something like this.
We have about 45 seconds left. There's also another story that you just broke, a disturbing incident involving a minor hockey league team in Stoney Creek.
Yeah, and it is uncomfortable reporting on a U14 hockey team, but to me the story there is again one of transparency. In that case, the only reason we know about this is because the complainant family in that case made an appeal to an agency called the Sport Dispute Resolution Center of Canada. Had they not appealed, we'd never know about it, because Hockey Canada decided to keep the sanction to the coach in that case a secret. And again, that's another example of, you know, where the public should be asking, why isn't this being made public when sanction decisions kind of across sports are being made public more and more.
The book is called We Breed Lions. It is a tremendous read, tremendous job. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
More Morning Live coming up here after the break. Good morning.